York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is
K-N-I-C-K. Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Go New York, go New York, go!
Hey everybody, welcome to the New York Knicks podcast, episode 672. I am Jay. How you doing, Mark?
Good. I think Jay and I were just talking before the show. We've agreed this is by far the worst part of the season. No question about it. The season, basically, the Knicks are now 40-21. It's been a good season. They should easily hit 50 wins this year. Came off a disappointing game against Golden State, but whatever. Here's what's going on right now. We're past the All-Star break. Everyone's ready for the playoffs, and we have to wait like 4 weeks for the playoffs or whatever number of weeks while we deal with pretending these games. Who gives a shit at this point? Just finish the goddamn schedule, get the playoffs started. We know what the teams are. End the goddamn season and start the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much locked into a playoff berth, probably a top four. And now we're just hoping that in the next 20 games, nobody gets injured. And that's really it.
Right. I mean, currently the Knicks look like they're the third seed, playing Detroit first round. Should be an interesting first round. Detroit's better than everyone thought this year. Blah blah blah. But it's kind of like, okay, well, like, also I don't want the Knicks to stumble. I mean, Knicks were 4 up on Milwaukee. We got a bunch of games to go, but like, it'd be annoying if they played Milwaukee or Indiana first round. I'd rather play Detroit. Or it'd be annoying if I don't. Just end the goddamn season. Like, I still don't want anyone to get injured and like. By the way, which we talked about before. Jay sent me something showing that the Knicks are the least injured team in the entire NBA this year. They've had the fewest games and the fewest minutes missed by players who are injured of the entire league, which really is interesting because the entire league is convinced Tibbs is injuring his players every game because he's overplaying everyone.
Yeah, literally the least by games missed and by minutes missed. So,
right.
It's interesting, yeah.
It is interesting that the minutes police are staring at facts they hate because Tibbs seems to be keeping everyone healthy.
Well, the minutes police are really mad at Kidd now that Kyrie went down.
Yes.
I think the basketball gods are just punishing the Mavs. I mean, when Kyrie went down, I said, oh, that looks bad. I'm going to pick up Hardy as backup. 5 minutes later, Hardy destroys his ankle and he's out. And last night, Hardy's backup got injured. So they were down to like 6 players or something. It was insane.
So Nico Harris, what else do you think he traded in his deal with the Devil?
Seriously.
It's unbelievable. Oh, by the way, Kyrie was playing like 40 minutes a game for like maybe a week and he got injured. There's no way that like you can't blame Kidd for that. Also, you can't blame Kidd because Nico got rid of half the offense.
Yeah. It wasn't they had a lot of good defensive players, but without Luka, it was the Kyrie show. Especially with Davis out.
It's so crazy because Nico was like, you know what? I think if we're going to have forget long term. If we want to win now, Anthony Davis is a better option than Luka. I'm closing our window a bit, but it doesn't matter. We're going to win it. And now they may not make the playoffs.
I think they fell to 9th, right? 9th or 10th? 9th.
I think they were 10th. Okay, 10th. Maybe they're they're 10th right now. They are sitting in the 10th seed behind Sacramento. They are 2.5 games up on the Phoenix Suns. And they, with all the injuries, the Mavericks are not even make the play-in. They are going to the lottery. I don't know if they have their own pick or not, but they're plummeting fast.
That's crazy.
Nico Harris, he's gonna be out of it. I mean, I guess you can't blame him for the injuries, but like, he must have a drinking problem at this point.
Yeah, I mean, well, we should probably talk about the Knicks.
Let's go about the Knicks. Go back to the Knicks.
Mitch is back.
By the way, Isaiah Thomas is watching Nico being like, I'm not such a bad GM, am I? Look at Nico.
So Mitch came back. He's on a minutes restriction, but you immediately see his impact when he's in the game.
He looks... So last year when he came back from injury, he looked a little bit out of shape. He just did not look fully ready into game shape. Mm-hmm. Whereas this year, I feel like he looks... Obviously not full Mitch, but he looks pretty good right from the start.
He does. It looks like he's capped out at about 14, 15 minutes a game right now.
I mean, Tibbs says he's not on a minutes restriction, but Tibbs seems to only be playing in 14 or 15 minutes a game, even without Towns in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that'll increase each game. I'm expecting tonight versus the Lakers, it'll probably be 18 to 20. I mean, let's be honest, he's not going to play more than like 24 or 25
It's
a game
stupid
anyway,
to
right?
play him more. They know the injury risk with him. You want him healthy for the playoffs. All in the playoffs, all you want is 20 minutes out of him. Like that's fine. 20, 25 minutes. Just do that the rest of the way. Don't do anything more.
Yeah. Even if he could play 30, like wait for the playoffs.
Wait for the play. Yeah, exactly. Wait for the playoffs. So the Knicks had a couple games since our last show. They had 2 down to the wire games against the Grizzlies and against the Heat. Won them both, and then just fell apart in the last 5 minutes against the Warriors. The Knicks are still like winning a lot of games, stumble here or there. What do you take? What's your takeaway at this point? And then also the Knicks were missing Towns versus Golden State, which would have been very helpful because Golden State doesn't have any big men to stop Towns.
Yeah. Do you know when the last time Curry lost at MSG?
I think he's 12-1 or 13-1 at MSG. So yes, I do actually because they mentioned it during the game. It was the game that Curry had 56 points basically against the Knicks, but he lost.
Yeah, 2013.
Holy shit! I didn't remember what year it was. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So I think he lost his first game at MSG and then hasn't lost since.
No, it wasn't his first game at MSG. You know why?
Why?
Well, first of all, he was in the league before that. But
Yeah, but he had injury history, so I'm sure he might have missed.
no, but before he played before you said he lost in 2013. He was he played before that. But anyway, he won when he was at Davidson on the MSG floor.
Ah, nice.
So like they were like even in college he didn't lose at MSG.
Yeah, if Towns was playing, I think it would have been a different story. As far as the loss, they have the 4th best record in the NBA. Like, I don't get all this. Like, people are overreacting, I think, to losses. Like, teams lose games. Like,
Yes.
teams. If you look at even OKC and Cleveland, who have incredible records, they have some losses to not good teams. So it happens, and I'm not going to
Okay,
overreact to it.
so you want to get in the panic mode yet? Like, do you want to talk about what we should be panicking about?
Should we be panicking at all?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring the doom and gloom. Like, not panicking, but I have some concern. I had some concern last show, and I continue to have some concern.
I mean, having concerns is fair, but people seem to be having downright like blow up the team, trade. But I'm seeing trade Towns and Hart. Like, I don't know.
What are they trading Towns and Hart for? What's the idea here?
I don't know. Even Colin Coward went on the air and said to trade for Giannis. Although, I guess to get on national media, you just have to not pay attention to anything because he said the Knicks should trade Towns and OG and 5 draft picks for Giannis, which they don't have. So 5 first rounders. So they can't even do that. So good.
Okay, there are a couple things the Knicks are not doing well, and those things are that need to be improved. So there are a couple basic stats. So first off, 3-point attempts. The 3-point. Do you know where the Knicks are on 3-point attempts?
28th.
27th. So very close. But the only team that's down there that's also really good. I mean, actually, the Lakers are 25th, and the Nuggets are 30th. So you don't necessarily have to be bad to be like. But the Knicks, they need to be shooting more threes, right? Would
Yeah.
that be fair?
Well, I said this last episode. They have a lot of good 3-point shooters. So the fact that they aren't shooting them doesn't make sense because they have a lot of good 3-point shooters.
Do they?
They
right
do.
now, by the way, the Knicks are 8th in 3-point percentage, and they're at 37%. They're they're 10th behind the Celtics. So the Knicks are generally, first of all, the Celtics are shooting 37.1% from 3, and they're shooting 48 threes a game. The Knicks are shooting 37% and shooting 34%. Obviously, shooting 10 more threes a game or 14 more threes a game wouldn't mean they keep the same percentage. But the Knicks need to be shooting more. You can't be like near the last in the league in 3-point attempts.
Well, Towns is shooting the least amount he has in like 5 years, I believe.
The whole team is not shooting a lot of threes, and they're not making them, and they're getting worse at threes. They're getting much worse at threes. So let's go through some of the players. Mikal Bridges. Let me just go through his 3-point percentage. So he started off the year like just going month by month. He basically in November he shot like almost like 30%, terrible. In December, he shot 43%. Great. January, 35%, or 36% basically. That's pretty good. February, he was at 32%. In March, he's 18%.
All right, 18's brutal.
That's brutal. Basically, post All-Star break, he is shooting 27% from three. Prior to All-Star break, he was shooting 36%. 36% not amazing, but it's fine. 27% is atrocious. Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, we'll pick a player.
McBride.
You went to the bench.
Well, he's a good 3-point shooter.
He's a good 3-point shooter. He might need more minutes basically, and okay, so his 3-point shooting. Everyone actually his has kind of stayed about where it's been. It hasn't actually gotten worse. So basically, post All-Star break, he's shooting 35%. Pre All-Star break, he was shooting 37%. Still solid. Could be shooting a tad better from three. But generally, he's been fine.
Maluz wants to see Shamit.
I'm gonna go through the starters. God damn it. Anyway, Mikal
What is it,
Bridges
a
has been
different page?
terrible from three. It's been frustrating. OG's been really good. He stayed good. I don't need to go to him. Brunson has definitely been a little bit off from three, but not bad. Let me pull it up.
So what's your point?
Everyone's worse from three lately. They're not shooting the threes. They're not making them. For the last month and a half, they've been horrible from three. As a team, it's been OG's been hitting threes. Brunson's been doing it decent. No one else is hitting threes anymore.
Okay, I mean, I don't think that's just the way the team is now.
I'm just saying there's something going on. Oh, the guy I wanted to point out is Josh Hart has been god awful from three. I love Josh Hart, one of my favorite players. He's awesome. You need him to win. But I don't know what the hell's going on. Did he just stop shooting threes? I got to go to his 3-point percentage because his is just.
Well, I know he's not even being covered anymore.
Why would you? I can cover him from three from my couch.
I'm gonna
Okay.
guess in March he's at like 26%.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you his pre-All-Star break, 33, 30, about 34%.
Mhm.
Just under. Not terrible, but you want better, right?
Yeah,
Guess his post All-Star break 3-point percentage. And this is just 5 games. Just guess what it is.
22.
He wishes it was that high.
What is it?
12.5%.
Oh my god.
Holy shit. And this is the year, going month by month. November, 40%. Great. December, 42%. Oh my God, I love Josh Hart. January, 25%. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure he'll break out of that. February, 23%. March, 0.0%.
I mean, there's been what, 1 game, 2 games?
Two games. Anyway, it is really hard to win when guys cannot hit. The NBA is so about threes. You need the whole point of getting Towns was a 5-out lineup. It's not a 5-out lineup if you don't have to even cover some of the players for three. Mikal Bridges will snap out of it. I am not certain Josh Hart will snap out of it. Maybe you move Josh Hart to the bench. Maybe you play around with the lineup and put McBride out there more. I love Josh Hart. He's not going to go down in minutes. But maybe you need to mix this stuff up. I don't know.
McBride's minutes have been going up.
Yeah, he has been going up much. And he finished the game the other night. He finished against I think against the Heat. He finished the game.
He finished
Which
over
was only-
Bridges.
Yeah, because Bridges was playing poorly. Maybe was that the Memphis game he finished?
Bridges
either-
was like, he was really bad that game, and so yeah, Tibbs just went with McBride. It was the
Yeah.
right choice.
It's the right choice. You have to be able to mix. Yeah, it was the Miami game. Bridges was 2 for 11 for 5 points. Tibbs is like, you just don't have it tonight. I'm going to stick with McBride.
You go with the hot hand, which is great.
Yeah, but the Knicks, they've got to shoot some more threes and make some more threes. Towns, I know, has had the finger. I mean, Towns has the finger issue or thumb issue. Hopefully, his three-point shooting hasn't been bad, though. But you need more threes from him. I mean, the biggest issue really is Josh Hart. Hart needs to be able to hit some threes. Like, this is ridiculous. If they want to win some playoff games, Hart has to be able to hit threes.
Yes, and Their defense has to look better, but I think that will with more minutes for Mitch.
You want to go to the next issue?
Yeah.
I'm full of issues tonight, Jay. Okay, so sticking with 3-point shooting. Do you know where the Knicks rank in opponents' 3-point shooting percentage?
I mean, if it's not last, then I don't know who's worse.
It's goddamn dead last. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not going to bury the lead here, Jay. It's goddamn dead last behind Sacramento. It's 37.5%. What the hell? So they've never been this bad. I look back at the Tibbs years. The first year when they went to the playoffs against Atlanta, they actually were one of the best teams in the NBA against the three. Every year since, they've been somewhere in the middle of the pack. Not amazing, but not great either. What the hell is going on? Why are they so... Is it just luck? What is it just bad luck? Why are they so bad?
Well, the Golden State game, they looked like they were confused over who was covering who. People were just like walking up to the 3-point line and shooting it. It wasn't even like they were doing switches, screens, or like double screens. Like they were just walking up to the 3-point line and shooting it.
I mean, Steph Curry hit some shots where you're like, I mean, he gets open, nothing you can do about him. But like, and they covered him good most of the game. But yeah, this is just ridiculous.
Well,
Okay, so who are the best teams in the NBA, Jay? Let's give me two of the best teams. And I'll tell you where they rank in opponents' 3-point percentage. Let's give me the best teams.
OKC in Cleveland.
OKC is number 1 against the 3-point shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who's next?
Cleveland.
Boston.
Boston, Cleveland.
Third in the NBA against the 3-point shot.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Cleveland?
Yeah.
Cleveland is 16th, surprisingly enough.
Okay.
By the way, Cleveland's on their way to having like an amazing season. How are they this good?
Well, I mean, they did have a good team.
If they right now, they have to go. If they go 10-10 the rest of the way, they win 62 games.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That's pretty. If they would go 15-5, which is pretty realistic for Cleveland, they win 67 games. I don't understand how they're this good, because the team is not that different than last year.
No, they just got continuity. They have a very good team. Then they're deep. They're like 10 deep. I mean, they got like Ty Jerome going nuts on a daily basis now.
That's what the Knicks need.
Yeah.
That's what the Knicks need. They need a Ty Jerome, you know, also or like a Peyton Pritchard who went off for 40 points the last night for Boston. The Knicks need a bench player or 2 bench players that can hit threes and really contribute. And I know there's a little bit like depth issue and so forth, and maybe they can get guys for next year. But that's one huge factor in Celtics in Cleveland is they have a couple guys on their bench who can really contribute.
Well, that and just the starters have been together for so long. I mean,
Continuity, like top players, blah blah blah.
I think in
but
basketball, continuity means more than people think.
Yeah, I mean that's totally. And the Knicks are. So it depends on how you want to count it. Some people say the Knicks are in year 1 of trying to build because they just changed their lineup. Some people say it feels like they're in year 500 because that's how long Tibbs has been here and that's how long I'm suffering. I don't know. What year are they in, Jay?
They're in like year 3, but they added 2 new starters this year, so it's almost
changed
like
everything up.
Yeah, it's almost like a reset.
By the way, who are the new Knicks? We got some new Knicks.
Well, I know they let go Toppin.
They got let go of Jacob Toppin. We're going to do our documentary on the life and times of Jacob Toppin and all he contributed to the Knicks. There'll be a 5-part special. Matty Ryan, I guess he's going to go back to his old job playing QB for the Falcons. They signed 2 players though, right?
Yeah, to 2-way contracts. They did not sign the empty roster spot yet.
Right, which maybe they're seeing who's injured or what they need. It wasn't they haven't signed TJ Warren, which is what we kind of expected. They signed Marjan Bucamp, who I don't know how to pronounce his name. It may not matter, but people say it's a good pickup.
Mm-hmm.
And they signed another guy from the draft, who I guess was not. I don't know what the story was, but the guy he was in the D League, Adon something or other.
Yeah, so the CBA is complicated for no reason. It's like super complicated for no reason. And the way I read it is that the Knicks now have enough room for 2 guys to sign. And every day they delay filling one position, you get an extra day for the second position.
My understanding is because of the two-way contracts, like you only play a certain number of games in the NBA on a two-way contract, but because of where they are in the season, the guys they sign can play pretty much the rest of the season.
Yeah. But
So
also the not two-way contracts, the regular contracts. Say there's like the second one can play like the last 6 days of the season. If they postpone it till tomorrow, then he could play the last 7 days of the season. So I think they're waiting for those two to like meet in the middle, and then they'll fill both of them.
Do they have two? They have two empty spots? I thought they only had one.
No, another one opened up because they delayed.
Oh, okay. Okay, sounds good. Whoever they're gonna add is not gonna make much of a difference, but we could use more help.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would still like to see Warren just to add some scoring. I mean, you get a score like that off the bench. I think that would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, other teams also find guys like Ty Jerome wasn't some amazing find from Cleveland. He just turned out to be really good for them. But like his background, I was looking at this before. He was on Phoenix and OKC, then Golden State, then Cleveland picked him up at age 26. He was kind of a journeyman. He's still a little bit of a journeyman, but like he's contributing to be a major contributor. Like you could find guys who are like this, who have just kind of bounced around a bit, who can actually contribute a lot on the bench.
I mean, other teams seem to be able to do that pretty easily.
I got faith in. It seemed everything we've seen is Leon Rose Incorporated. They know what they're doing. It's really hard not to trust them at this point. So like, all the Knicks are in like a pretty, unlike the Mavericks who tried to close their window. Knicks have a solid window here. Everyone's signed for the next few years. Everyone's just gotten to their prime. The Knicks have a reasonable window to try to win this. We'll see how it goes. Knicks could, and also the playoffs. Knicks stay healthy. Other teams don't stay healthy. Things could work out. You never know.
You never know. I mean, I like I said last episode, I don't think the talent gap is as bad as the box score has been, and the Knicks are 2-0 with a fully healthy roster.
Okay,
The fact that there's only been 2 games is not good, but they are undefeated with the full roster.
So, do you think the Knicks 3-point woes, not in the defending the 3-point line, is it a bit of just bad luck? Like, guys are just like it's some like guy like just happens to be they're just like those guys. Those shots have fallen, or like are the Knicks just the worst at covering? Is it because they have to like make up for Towns? Why are they so bad on 3? Especially when you have Wingstop there. You have like guys that are supposed to be good defenders. Why can't they cover the 3?
I don't know. Lack of communication. It's something's like way off. I also do think that this will improve with Mitch though, because they're trying to cover like the whole court, where now you're just like, all right, Mitch has got the paint covered. We don't have to even worry about that. We can maybe play a little harder on the 3-point line.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Okay, so something else the Knicks are bad in.
You're all negative today, huh?
I'm what?
You're all negative today.
Ooh, I should be so positive. Like we're on the boring part of the season. We're trying to win a title. I'm just trying to point out what's wrong, Jay.
I mean,
Should I be like, oh my God, what a wonderful loss to Golden State. This is great.
they have the 4th best record in the entire NBA.
I know it's better than it's ever been on our podcast. Okay,
It's the best it's been since 1997.
Okay, calm down. Here's something else the Knicks used to be really good at, and what is something else? See if you can figure this out. What is something the Knicks previously excelled in? And one of the things that made their offense so good, and now they're really bad at it.
Offensive rebounding.
Yes. Where are they in offensive rebounding?
23rd.
20th. And Mitch coming back, that should make a huge difference.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the best offensive rebounders in the league.
Yeah. And Towns shoots some threes. He doesn't. I know. Is it a cause for concern or just something they need to work on?
I'm not concerned until I see this team like healthy, play some good teams, and if they get run off the court with a fully healthy roster, I'll instantly go into panic mode. But right now, I'm just like, I've seen these teams beat up on the Knicks when the Knicks were shorthanded, so it doesn't impress me. It doesn't worry me.
Okay. I've got another one for you that concerns me. Free throw attempts.
I mean, you know how I feel about the refs. I think it's rigged, and not just against the Knicks. Like if you look at Jokic, like he got two-hand pushed under the net yesterday, and there was no foul called, and he just doesn't get calls. Like his arms are bleeding. Like they just don't call fouls for him. I think there's certain players in certain teams that the refs don't like for whatever reason, and that's
So
just
I
it.
think getting to the line I think is super important. You have to do, where do you think the Knicks are in free throw attempts?
27th.
25th. That's bad.
Yeah,
Do you need to get a lot of free throws to win games?
it sure helps. I mean, if
Okay.
you're getting a lot of free throws, that means the other team is probably in foul trouble.
Where do you think Cleveland is?
Cleveland, I would say, is third.
16th.
Oh,
Okay. Where do you think the Thunder are? And they got SGA who gets fouled every play.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna say like fourth.
28th.
Wow. Does
Okay, where do you think
nobody
this-
get
where-
fouled other than Shea?
Where do you think the Celtics are?
Celtics, they seem like an outside shooting team. I'm gonna say they're low, like 25th.
29th.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
That
That's
one
actually
makes
kind of
sense.
correct. I looked at this. I was like, it's pretty bad. The Knicks are 25th, but I'm like, the Celtics and the Thunder are also 20th and 29th. So maybe the Bulls are the worst.
I know the
the
Lakers,
Bulls.
Lakers are the first.
No, actually,
No? Okay.
not even. Lakers are fourth.
Okay.
Number one are the Grizzlies. I do think also if you look at who has the the Grizzlies are number one in free throw attempts, which means they're completely screwed from the playoff time because they're relying on getting to the line, and that doesn't always work out in the playoffs. Okay, those are my big categories I was concerned about. What any categories you're concerned about, Jay?
I am just concerned about health. I know they're the healthiest team in the league right now, but
Healthiest.
I'm just worried that they're going to be healthy all season and then get injured right before the playoffs, just like my fantasy teams always do.
Hey, try to guess this stat. Okay, number one, best in the league is OKC. Number two is the Celtics. Number three is Cleveland, and number four is the Knicks. What offensive stat is this?
Oh, I thought you were just going to say wins.
Yeah, it does look like that, right?
Yeah.
What stat is this? OKC's number one, Celtics number two. Basically, the four best teams in the NBA are 1 through 4. What stat is it?
Points
It
per
just shows
game?
how important the stat is.
Points per game?
Well, that would be helpful. Yes, I could take a look at points per game in a second, but I don't think it's that. Points through a game. Let's see where these guys are. Points per game is Cleveland, then Memphis, then Denver, then OKC, then the Knicks. Try again. I'll give you 2 more guesses, then I'll tell you.
Let's see. No, it can't be. Andrew said bench points. It can't be bench points.
No, the
Knicks
are
are, like,
fourth in the
last.
NBA. I believe OKC, Boston, and Cleveland are number 1 through 3 in bench points. I believe that. I just don't know how to check that stat.
Well, the Knicks are definitely last in bench points.
The Knicks are not first. Yeah. That doesn't. McBride's scoring a lot of points behind her back. I think this one's it's interesting. That's why I'm gonna make you guess again.
Field goal percentage?
Knicks are really high in field goal percentage. They are they're high enough in their Knicks are third and in field goal percentage. Denver's first, Cleveland, then the Knicks, then Indiana. But no. What is one of the most important things you need to do on offense besides score?
Assists?
That's important, but you don't have to get assists. Okay. One of the most important things to do is not give the ball back to the other team.
I was just about
Turnovers.
to say turnover. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Like the top 4 teams are the top 4 teams that give the ball away the least. Though, you know who number 5th is? Who kind of proves the entire stats, not everything, is Philly, who's god awful this year.
Yeah. Although they're probably like last in assists too. So
Philly or the Knicks?
Philly.
Oh, I'll tell you the Knicks are usually almost at the apps. The Knicks are almost always at the bottom for assists. This year they're the 11th, and Philly is 28th. Do you want to guess? There's a good team that's 30th, a top 8 team.
In assists.
Yeah, and I guess it's not one of the top 4. Or else I would have just said top 4.
Right. Milwaukee.
This team does not have a real point guard.
Memphis.
They're a young team. Memphis has Ja.
Houston.
Yes. Like they got Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, I was gonna say Van Fleet's.
Yeah. Anyway, our walk down stat lane I thought was interesting. To me at least. I don't care if it's interesting to you. Any other stat you want to ask me about, Chad? Okay, so we were asked about Shamet, how he's doing from 3, just to kind of end the fact that the Knicks can't shoot any threes. I feel like Shamet hasn't been hitting threes either lately. What do you think he's been doing?
I think he's been better lately. I'm gonna say he's one of the ones that went up post All-Star break.
Okay, so on the year he is shooting. God damn it! Where's the stat? On the year he is shooting 34% from 3, or almost 34.6% from 3.
Mm-hmm.
Not amazing, but not horrible. Though it would be great. Like the other teams, Cleveland and Boston have guys on the bench who shoot 40% from 3 and actually shoot a bunch of threes. Knicks really need this, but he's been okay, right? Yes, he's been okay. December he was 75% from 3, but that was only 4 games. Then he was 24% in January, 39% in February, and 40% in March. The March was only 2 games,
Yeah.
but
That was right.
generally he's been shooting threes. You're right. He's been shooting threes. Okay, he's been shooting almost 44% since the All-Star break.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I think Shamit's. I was gonna say Shamit. I think Campaign has also. Yeah, Shamit's been shooting better. I was thinking of Campaign. Campaign's the one I've been worried about lately. You think he's been hitting threes?
He's been kind of quiet. His minutes are all over the place too. He'll play 20. He'll play like 6.
So on the year, he's shooting 37% from 3, which is fine, I guess. He's been all over the place. Also, the minutes. It's really hard when the minutes are all over the place.
Yeah.
Like it would. I know Tibbs needs to play everyone 48 minutes a night, but it would be helpful for the bench if they had some more stable minutes.
Yeah, if they knew that what their role was going into the game. It's like, well,
So
will I play 30 minutes or will I play 3? I don't know.
Shamit not Shamit. Payne pre All-Star break was 37%, and post All-Star break he's 33%, or 33%. So like, he's definitely been worse as of late from 3.
Yeah.
But his minutes are kind of all over the place, as you said. So like, what do you want him to do? He's not getting consistent minutes.
Yeah. We got an email.
We got an email. Let's read the email.
Sam writes, "Hey guys, what do you guys think of a trade of Mikhail and Precious for Dante and Nikhil Alexander-Walker this offseason?"
Okay, say it again.
Mikhail and Precious for Dante and Nikhil Alexander-Walker. I think that you can't trade 5 first-round picks for Mikhail and then trade him for Dante. I would like to.
Who would you rather have, Dante or Bridges? That's a better question.
My heart says Dante, but my brain says Bridges.
Yeah, I think Bridges' ceiling is much higher. I think Bridges can give you. I mean, Dante is awesome. I'd love to have them both. I think Bridges can. If you need to get to that next level to win the whole thing, Bridges raises your ceiling more so than Dante. Dante's awesome, but like Dante played out of his mind last year. He has not been as good in Dallas, and probably has been a bit unhappy there also. But like, he's awesome. I think Bridges is a better player.
Yeah. I would also like to see all the Villanova guys together. I don't want to keep getting 3 out of 4 and then trading one for the other.
I know, but like I don't know how he even comes back to the Knicks because he cost. I don't know how they even cleared the money to get him back or trade for him. So I think we can't pretend he's coming back, even though I'd love for him to come back.
Yeah.
He signed a 4-year deal, right? So this is year 2. He's got 2 more years at like what, 15 million a year, 16 million a year,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe it was like 12 million a year. I forget what it was. But like still like, I mean, Dallas is not going to cut him.
No, it would have to be another trade.
That's I mean Minnesota. Sorry, I keep saying Dallas. Minnesota. Minnesota's not going to cut him. So like, yeah, it'd have to be another trade. And what are you going to give up to get him? And like, Knicks don't have that much. Like, would you rather have McBride? I'd rather have Dante over McBride. I think that's no question. I love McBride. I'd rather have Dante. But I mean, like, they're not going to do that deal either.
Right. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't think the Knicks are going to get Dante back unless something weird happens.
I mean, I'm rooting for something. I was rooting for something like Dante was so bad earlier in the year. I thought maybe he was trying to play him back, self him back on the team. Hey guys, I just don't know how to shoot threes anymore. You might want to cut me so I can go back to the Knicks. I'm not trying to go back to the Knicks or anything.
I mean, stranger things have happened. I just,
Yeah, that's true. Strange things happen. Who knows? It would be awesome to have him back. But yeah, the Knicks. It would be cool. It'd be cool to have him back. We got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find the question. Okay. Trey writes. This was on Twitter or X or whatever. Since we are clearly not on the level of a Boston or even a Cleveland, what would a playoff result you'd be moderately okay with? So obviously we're not happy. We obviously want to win the title.
Mm-hmm.
We're not pleased. Most results are not going to please us in the playoffs. But like, what was we say? Like not maybe moderately happy. What would you be moderately okay with in the playoffs, Jay?
A competitive second round.
So what we've had the last 2 years, just meeting that, just getting there.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Literally where we were the last 2 years. Just get back there, and you're good.
Well, I mean, the top 2 teams in the East are better than they were in previous years. I think next year the Knicks are going to be better.
So every year we're like, we'll get to the second round this year, but next year will be better.
Well, what do you think?
I don't disagree with you. I'm just annoyed. I want the team to really have a shot of winning it all.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like there's some holes in the roster right now. I mean, what needs to happen if the Knicks are going to try to win this year? Obviously, everyone's got to be healthy. They need Bridges and OG. OG's been bringing a lot. By the way, OG lately, last week or so, he's been awesome on offense. He's playing the way you need him to play on offense.
Yeah.
You need Bridges to play like he did against the Spurs. You need Josh Hart to remember how to shoot threes. You need everyone cooking to get this to have a shot, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I still think they have a chance. It's going to be tough. They're going to have to beat maybe Boston and Cleveland, like both.
Right. Cleveland still, I know their record is insane, but they still, I'm like, are they really this good? I just don't. I have trouble believing they went from like 2 first-round exits to this good.
Mm-hmm.
In continuity and bench and blah blah. I still need to see it in the playoffs. Boston, clearly they're ridiculously good. So they're both. But you know what? In a series like the Knicks can play. I know they got crushed by this team this year, but they could probably play them pretty close in the playoffs. If everything's firing on all cylinders, the Knicks have a shot this year.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen the Knicks play any of these teams with Mitch, so it's a completely different look.
Yeah, the Knicks can definitely show a different look. I would love to see. I want to see more of a healthy Mitch next to a healthy Towns. That would be really interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of what Minnesota did last year. I want to see that because I feel like that's. And I guess maybe like you put Hart or Bridges, someone moves to the bench. Maybe Hart, I guess, moves to the bench. But you just do something. It'll round everything out, basically.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but I guess the second round. I guess you can't lose if the Knicks lose in the first round to Detroit. I think at that point we talked about it last show, but I think at that point I'm ready to go like, hey, do we need to move on from Tibbs? I think that's the overreaction I would have if only if the Knicks lose in the first round.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Or I guess first round, or they get annihilated the second round. Where you're like, I don't know. Maybe Tibbs is amazing, but sometimes you need another coach to take you to the next level. I don't know if that's true or not. But if you get embarrassed in the
Yeah,
playoffs,
yeah. I
then
mean,
you
if
start thinking about that.
if they lose in the second round by an average of 20 points a game, the Knicks have too much talent for it to be that bad. So yeah, I would start questioning things too.
And Detroit looks good. They're definitely a lot better than we thought, but they're not beat the Knicks in the playoffs good. Like that would be. And
Yeah,
I know they played the Knicks well this year, but that would be goddamn absurd.
they're not pushovers, but
They're not pushovers.
yeah,
No.
there's no way they should lose that series.
No, but they're a fluky, streaky team that relies on like Malik Beasley to hit a bunch of threes. They have a limited talent on that roster. Cade is awesome. There are not that many other guys that are awesome on that roster. There's no way you should lose them in the playoffs.
I mean, there's no first round matchup that the Knicks should lose.
No, yes, you're right. They should not lose the first round. But if you're playing Milwaukee in the first round, that's a war.
Mm-hmm.
I
I mean, there is a scenario where the Knicks have to play Milwaukee, then Boston, then Cleveland, which is just insane.
So Giannis in the first round's a war. Indiana's also a war. You don't want to play them first round. I mean, you had some bad juju from last year. You don't want to have them be your first round matchup. The Knicks had a hell of a first round matchup against Philly last year. It was an awesome series, but you know what? Maybe we don't want we want just I'd rather have an easier first round series to get ourselves ready for second round. I mean, maybe that costed the Knicks the second round against Indiana also. They had exhausted everything they had and every player they had in that first series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you can't convince me otherwise that a healthy Knicks team last year doesn't beat the crap out of them.
Yeah. It is also amazing the Knicks went to war with Philly, and now Philly's like in just complete garbage.
I mean,
Would you say, if you had to say what's the most disappointing team of the season, would it be Philly or would it be Dallas?
Dallas made the finals last year, and they look like they're in rebuild mode. Philly, you could be like, yeah, there's high expectations, but I wouldn't be shocked if like Embiid and Paul George got injured.
Right.
So-
I mean, it's also like Philly. They're both have injury issues, but Dallas seemed to commit like franchise suicide.
We'll also look at our preseason picks. Like we both picked Dallas pretty high, and we both were pretty. We were like kind of mediocre. You were much lower in Philly. I think you picked them to finish like 8th or something.
Ooh, someone knew something. You want to go through? Do you have our picks, our most recent picks?
I think I do. Yeah.
Okay, I would love to see how we're actually doing.
Yeah. So you picked Detroit over 41.5.
And they seem to be heading there over 41. Seems like they're a lock for that.
You picked Phoenix under 40.5. That's going to be close.
I think I might have this one also.
Yeah, you might have that one. San Antonio under 39.5.
Oh, I'm looking pretty good on San Antonio.
Yeah, and Orlando under 41.5.
Okay, so I have nailed all four.
You
I'm
might
4 for
sweep.
4.
You might.
I might
that.
sweep this. This is, and I picked San Antonio to lose before Wemby was out for the year. So I really just, oh man, I am so good at this, Jay. How are you doing?
Let's see, Denver over 52.5, looking pretty good.
Overs are always tough. But I think, what is it? How many wins?
52.5. They have to go
It's gonna
like
be, it's gonna be
13,
tight. 13,
13-7. That's definitely
It's
doable.
doable. They're playing a lot better lately. Yeah.
Philly under 32.5.
I gave that one to you. I should have. Yeah, that seems like a lock.
Boston under 59.5.
Yeah, 59.
Yeah. I don't know why
Okay.
that was that high.
That's really, really hot. Okay.
They did go on like a little bit of a losing streak right after that because they were on a pretty crazy pace. And then Milwaukee under 46.5. That one's not looking great.
Milwaukee under 46. Yeah, that seems like you're gonna lose that one. So you might go 3-1 and get crushed by me at 4-0.
Yeah, it's very possible.
And let's go back. Just do you have our preseason ones?
Preseason ones, yeah, I'll pull that up. I know we already won Philly, which is why I bet Philly again, because I thought it'd be funny to win the under in Philly and then bet the under again and win again. And then we already won. I believe we won Charlotte already too.
Charlotte was
Under
under
30, I believe.
Charlotte could be under 20. I think we have a lock here.
Yeah. Let's see, what else do we have? We have.
I was just looking at the bad teams. Utah has 15 wins. I don't know how they missed the opportunity to trade Larry Markkinen last year. Like he was pretty good last year. Like they couldn't see they were going nowhere with Markkinen.
I know. We have Clippers under 35.5. We're gonna lose that.
That's lost.
We're gonna lose that by like next week.
Yeah.
Grizzlies under 47.5. Probably losing that. They're in a bit of a slide right now, but they'd have to go like 10-10.
The Minnesota and Dallas picks we lost.
Knicks over 54.5. They're looking like they're going to finish with exactly 54.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll get that extra win. Let's see. The Hornets under 30.5. We got that. Minnesota over 52.5. We're going to lose that like tomorrow.
Not a chance.
Like,
though they have been playing better since Randall and Dante are back.
And
Dallas.
over 49.5 when they had Luka and everybody was healthy.
The dream team couldn't get them to 49 wins.
Well, they'd have to go in 19-1.
Yeah.
I mean, even if if we reset to the beginning of the season roster, they wouldn't go 19-1. So.
Okay. We are at the worst part of the season where we're just kind of like, stuff's going on. What do we got coming up ahead of us, Jay?
We have a West Coast trip with
great.
Yeah.
The Lakers all these games are also so annoying because like you don't even want to watch the games they're on so late. The Lakers start at 10 o'clock, then Friday night the Clippers start at 10:30, then Sacramento on Monday night at 10:30, and Wednesday night Portland at 10 p.m. All the games are so annoying.
Yeah.
Lakers are on fire right now, by the way. They have the second best record in the West. Lakers are going to be tough. Clippers and Sacramento and Portland are all very beatable.
And then Golden State again after that, after a 4-day break, which is good.
Yeah, they'll need the days off. But it is not an easy schedule going forward. And great. Just end the goddamn season.
I mean, it's not terrible after that. You got
No, it's not terrible.
Miami, San Antonio, Charlotte, Washington, Dallas. I mean, they could pull off a win streak right there.
Yeah, but it's like, and all you want them to do is just like, I don't know, just stay in the third seed, I guess. Or he gets the. I don't think they're gonna. Chances are they're not topping the Celtics here. You just don't want them to fall to the fourth seed.
Right. They're ending the season with 2 against Cleveland and 1 against Boston, so that's fun.
Yeah. Just got. But it's also they end the season. You said it's 2 against Cleveland, 1 against Boston.
Yeah.
Is that what they're ending this?
Yeah.
You know what? Oh yeah, they have Detroit also. I feel like you might want to sit some of those games.
Well, I mean, Cleveland already clinched the playoffs. They might not. They might sit players both of those games.
I mean, like, I don't know if like Tibbs really needs to play like the last game. I guess last year though, you played in overtime to get your 50th win against the Bulls, and then you looked pretty good in the playoffs. So I don't know. I can't. Whatever Tibbs does is probably right.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on. So the Knicks did not want to tank and get a lower seed, but the seeding might be all shaken out by then. So, yeah, we'll have to see what the standings are by then.
Right. If the Knicks are locked into their seed, it might be a different story.
Right. The Knicks could have tanked and moved down a spot last season, if I recall, but they decided not to and go all out against the Bulls, which is fine because I don't like tanking for position. That kind of just like says you're scared of the other team.
Yeah. No. Whatever. Okay, we have a few more weeks of the season to go. We'll get through this, and then we'll get to the much better part of the season, the playoffs, which are going to be insane. Better be insane. Knicks gotta just dominate the first round.
Oh, they.
Jay,
will.
you're gonna spend. You're gonna sell a kidney to go to a playoff game this year.
I know prices are so expensive. I will be going to probably Stout to watch a game, but I don't think I'll be in the
I'll be
arena.
going to Stout with you, and I'm also going to try to get a playoff tickets because I do like selling kidneys.
All right.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about, Jay? Anything else today? Anything else around the NBA news? Like
I mean, I don't want to talk about the Lakers. They look good. It's annoying.
Stephen A. Smith got $100 million over 5 years from ESPN because apparently he's the only person left of people watching ESPN. I don't know who is watching him, but apparently he's their top personality.
After they just canceled Around the Horn.
You know, I have to say though, if I'm trying to think of ESPN personalities, he's the only one I know. I'm trying. I mean, there are others, I guess, but he's the most recognizable ESPN personality. Even though I don't dislike him, but I wouldn't really watch him either.
Andrew said you're gonna forego a 9th annual holiday for a Knicks playoff ticket. No, Mark's still gonna go on his 9th holiday. Don't worry about that.
Why can't I do both? Why can't I just do both?
So check the show notes. I am running a Kickstarter for a game that I made, and there is still 12 days left to contribute to the campaign. We're about halfway there.
Is raising $6,500. He just topped 3,000. Contribute $25. Just contribute. Get him over this total. This is Jay's dream. Jay's dream is to make a card game you could play after dinner with some of your friends. Have some drinks, have a good time. This is Jay's dream. Make it happen for him.
And it's if you contribute, you get a game. So it's not like you're just giving me money. Contribute $25 and you'll get a game. And if I don't hit my goal, you get a refund. There's no risk.
Will you give Jay for $30? Will you give a handy?
No, you still get a game.
Okay. There's someone contributed $2,000. We don't know who it is, but that's a wonderful person contributed $2,000. Will you blow that person?
We'll talk about that off air. But thank you for if that was a listener, thank you.
It's unbelievably nice.
If you want to email us, nynixpodcast@gmail.com or nynixpodcast on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon. And we'll be back next week and guess every week through the end of the season.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Andrew said, would you rather Knicks title or success with the card game?
I'm going to go with Nick's title, but I really don't care about the card game. I care about it. I want it to succeed for Jay, but I care about the Knicks title a lot more. I'm sorry, Jay. Is that terrible to tell you?
No. I mean, I had a feeling you were going there. That's fine.
Are you going to take the Knicks title, Jay, or the card game? How good of a fan are you?
I'm going to go for the card game right now because I feel like I'm so
Holy
close.
shit, Jay, you are a traitor. I can't believe I'm doing a podcast with a traitor.
So our other podcast is called The Brink of Sanity. That's also the name of the card game. So if you go to Kickstarter and look up Brink of Sanity, you will find it. And if you are a fan of the Brink of Sanity podcast, some of the cards have Brink of Sanity Easter eggs in there. I might have peppered in ant and mold references, and maybe one of the cards has Mark's hometown in there. You never know. Could be.
You never know. There's a lot to find out about.
All right. So thanks for listening, everybody, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay.
Here's your question, Jay. Do you want to do a short brink to promote your game, or do you want to call it a night? Big decisions, Jay.
Let me see what the
misses?
yeah. Let me see what the missus is up to. I am going to convert this to MP3 just in case.
Okay.
Okay, while that's converting, I will
converse.
Cool. I know she loves when you do the show.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch stuff again after you reheat stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Because we might just do like a 20-minute break
Yeah,
then,
maybe
if
eat
that's
some
what you're
food.
doing. Yeah, sure. I gotta wait for a few minutes anyway. But yeah. All right. Give me like 5 minutes or so.
Sure. Ooh.
Look at that bonus show, folks.
Bill Simmons has the 2025 NBA worst contracts draft. Did you do this right or they did this right? This is new, right?
No, the
I'm
worst
excited.
contract was Bleacher Report, which was just stupid.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is Simmons did some other kind of draft recently. I forget what it was. So he did something like this, didn't he? But I guess this is a new episode. These are one of the episodes I really love. I love what Simmons does.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to that.
Downloading it.
Switch.
Andrew Schultz is on Joe Rogan. It'll be it's 3 hours of him not being funny. It's gonna be awesome.
It's 3 hours of having a funny comedian talking about DMT and elk hunting.
Oh my god. It's also just like guys just spouting shit off. Like any conspiracy whatsoever, like the aliens from the ocean are causing our economy to sink. And Joe Rogan be like, yeah, tell me more. That makes sense.
I've heard about that. I've read about
I've
that.
heard about that. Kids using litter boxes? I've heard about that. My wife's friend uses their kids use litter boxes at their school. They're forced to.
Isn't like 3/4 of the show just him telling his friend to like Google stuff and then they read the
Yeah.
Wikipedia page?
I have a buddy who has who's really gone off the deep end, like believes in aliens now, and like he I guess he watches Rogan like regular, like watches or listens to Rogan regularly. I told him I wasn't a fan of Rogan, and he was just like lost his mind. He was like, "Oh, this is because he had Trump on. Ever since Trump," I'm like, "No, I haven't really loved Rogan for years. I find his interviews just boring. Boring. How do you know they're boring? How would you say they're boring?" I'm like, "Well, I've listened to some, and like I just don't find them that interesting." First you say you don't listen, now you're saying you're listening. I don't know what I'm like, dude. I just don't fucking like Rogan. Just leave me alone.
That's it's a weird hill to die on.
I'm like, it's just like the interviews are they're fucking 3 hours long. I don't have this much time. I don't have this fucking much time to listen. And they're also just unbelievably fucking boring. I remember he sent me one that was he had some guy on who was talking about all this alien technology he saw America has, and we have like the aliens are here, and Rogan's just like, wow, really, really, oh my god, wow, you have a documentary about this? This is crazy. I'm like, Rogan, did you fucking do any like? Is there anyone you just won't fucking believe besides like the Democrat? Besides like a Democrat, there's no one else that you won't believe.
All right. My wife's just making some food, so as soon as she's done making noise, we can start.
Rogan also had some guy on recently who said the Jews are responsible for 9/11. And I'm like, what the fuck does Rogan even have these people on? Like he doesn't have anyone on the show. By the way, Jay, when you're done watching the 8th season of
Prison Break?
Prison Break, gotta watch Band of Brothers. I'm almost done what we're watching. I have one more episode to go. It's so good.
Okay.
Do you like war movies or war shows?
Some. I mean, I
This is-
like, Saving
like?
Private Ryan and Full Metal Jacket. And
This is absolutely the best thing ever made about war.
Okay.
Like hands down, better than Saving Private Ryan. Just flat out the best thing ever made about war.
Better than Full Metal Jacket.
You know, I haven't seen Full Metal Jacket, so but it's definitely better. I mean, Saving Private Ryan's great. This is just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And Bry also told you it was amazing. So you have two people whose opinions you may or not matter. You may not value at all, telling you that it's amazing.
I mean, Bry was on to Justified like before anybody else I knew.
Yeah, is that where I started watching Justified? Maybe might have been Bry's recommendation.
Yeah. I did not take his BoJack Horseman recommendation.
I tried. I really just couldn't get into BoJack Horseman.
It just I haven't even tried. It just looks dumb.
I don't know. It's hard to get into that show. Like it's just like a sad cartoon. It's well written. Like there's some cleverness to it. It's better than you think. But at some point you're like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, fair.
But I tried to. I remember he said there was an episode about abortion that was amazing, and I just never got to it. So when's this episode coming? But I could see why people like that show. It's better than it's like nothing like The Simpsons or anything like the funny shows. But it's better than you think. Also,
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the 4th season of Prison Break now.
I know. You've told me. It's got to get bad at some point.
It is.
I looked online. The reviews are terrible for these seasons 3 and 4.
3 was really good.
You said that. I know. I was looking at Rotten Tomatoes. Like it just gets crushed on Rotten Tomatoes.
I mean,
I'd heard it was that the first 2 seasons were really good, then it fell off a cliff. But you're telling me otherwise.
yeah, I mean, 4 is definitely not as good. It's almost. I think people don't like it because it's almost a different show at this point.
Yeah, you got to do something different though.
Yeah. I mean, they can't just break out of prison 5 years in a row. Like that would get a little stale.
What if like season 9 of 24, they're just opening up a restaurant. There's no terrorism. He's just like, I really always wanted to open like an Irish, like an Italian, like Thai fusion restaurant, and the whole episode is just him like trying to get the restaurant open.
The restaurant's
And you're
open
like,
24 hours a day, so it's just
24
a day. A day
There's
in
like
their
people are
life.
like, when's the attack gonna happen? He's like, there's no attack. We're just trying to get prepared for like it's our first day with the restaurant.
He's actually coming back, and they're making a new season.
Is he? Is it? Oh, I know. This is my idea for the new season of 24. It's 24 hours shot in real time again. He owns and runs a 24-hour gym. That's the entire thing.
Well, it can't be worse than the one they made without him.
I liked what we were doing. The Nigerian thing was really funny.
Yeah. We'll wait for Bry because that was his idea.
Yeah. We're not doing this. We're not going to do that right now. Yeah. I have a topic for you that I'll tell you about on the show.
Okay. I think we're just about ready. Give it one more minute, then we'll be good to go. Not that this is much different than Brink, but
Just send a quick work email. 1 second. Just respond to a quick email.
see, this is why you make the big bucks. Working.
This is why I go on my 9 vacations.
Yeah. Mark just sent $1,000 email. It says, I have an exciting opportunity for you.
I am vacation. I am going away, and it's just a short 2-day trip to Florida for
Spring break?
spring training.
Spring training.
Yeah, in March, and then I'm taking for Liz for her birthday. She doesn't know yet. Whispering. She can't hear from down here. I'm taking her just for like 2 nights in the Hamptons, in April.
Okay.
So
So you are
So
getting your monthly vacations in?
I really am. I mean, like these aren't real vacations, but like I did go like I went to Hunter Mountain in January for like 2 nights. Then or maybe it was 1 night, whatever. I stayed overnight. Then I stayed overnight for hiking once. Then we went to Seattle. Now I'm gonna go to just 2 nights in Florida. Then 2 nights in the Hamptons. So that's 5 things. Liz and I are thinking about going to Iceland in July while the kids are away. and then we're going with her family at the end of the year to the Bahamas. It does sound ridiculous when I'm saying it all loud.
This is every year. This is why I make fun of you.
It does sound completely. It sounds completely absurd when I'm saying it out loud.
And also, that's just what you have planned now. You usually pepper in one or two, like later in the year.
Yeah, at some point maybe. I don't know if we're gonna pepper anymore, but Iceland was a new idea. The kids are gonna be gone for camp, so like we like just like July 4th week, go there for like 4 or 5 nights.
This is when Mark's like, kids are gone. We're going to do so much Brink. And then he's like, psych, I'm going out on
Iceland.
That's an annual
Nothing's
tradition now, too.
Nothing's in stone, but I do drive Jay a little crazy with my vacations.
It's an annual tradition now. Mark gassing up how much he's going to be available to record and then disappearing for weeks at a time.
I don't know next summer if my son will be away or not for camp. So I don't know if he's doing it again after this summer. So like this is my summer. I really got to do Brink with you.
I do not believe you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it happen.
The last 2 years, I think we did like 3 weeks in a row, and I was like, oh,
why don't we get
cool.
the show? Jay, just hit record. Let's do it.
Sure. I'm going to record, make as much noise as you want. It's fine. Okay.
Tell Kat thank you for me.
Mark says thank you. Mark says thank you. For letting us record. All right, here we go. All right.
Hello, baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Brink of Sanity, episode 422. I am Jay. How you doing, Mark?
Good. Why don't we start the show off with Jay promoting his card game, and then we'll get to the rest of the show. Go,
Sure.
Jay.
There are 12 days left in the Kickstarter. It's the card game I've been talking about for like a year and a half now. So the Kickstarter's live, and we are just about halfway there, halfway to getting funded, so I could use your help. And the link is in the show notes. The game is called the Brink of Sanity card game. So if you get a Kickstarter and type in Brink of Sanity, it'll come right up, and you could read all about it. There's a lot of Brink Easter eggs in there. So if you're a fan of the podcast, you'll get a kick out of a bunch of the cards too.
Jay, I've got so the game includes a bunch of like games you've heard of before, just in a different format, like Would You Rather, Two Truths and a Lie, blah blah. I'm gonna, in honor of the game, I'm gonna give you a Would You Rather, Jay.
Okay.
Would you rather the Kickstarter blows up from here and you get $100,000 for your game, or we get 100,000 listeners for Brink of Sanity? What would be more important to you, Jay? And they're exclusive. So, like, if you get the listeners, the game dies.
Right.
The game just, like, something happens where the game will never get produced or made, Jay, if we get the listeners. So, like, we can make money on getting 100,000 listeners, but the game dies. You can never do the game.
I'm going to go with the game.
Holy shit, really?
I feel like we've been doing, by the way, happy 18th anniversary of Brink. We've been doing it without a lot of listeners.
The show can vote now?
Yes, the show can vote, and soon the show will be able to drink. So I feel like we've been doing the show without a lot of listeners for 18 years. I'm used to it. The game is, I would like it to happen.
So the game is more important to you than the goddamn show, Jay. You put in all this time and you're like, fuck it, fuck the game.
Well, I mean, I could still do the show while the game is successful, but if
you could still make the game and have it not be successful.
I mean,
I can't believe you choose the game. I don't know. Fine, new game, whatever. How do you choose the game over the show, Jay? It's like I don't even know you anymore. You're all about. Ever since you found this new significant other, the game, you're not into me anymore.
I mean, we could have been one big happy family, but you didn't want to be a part of the game, so
I am not into a menage a trois, Jay. I'm just sorry. Menage a game. Jay, I know you have anxiety. You get anxiety generally. How's your anxiety lately?
Much better.
Okay. What would happen to your anxiety if we did get 100,000 listeners? Like, forget the game part of it. Let's just say Suddenly, some people give a shit about like everyone becomes Andrew. And everyone becomes obsessed with our with the show, and suddenly we have 100,000 dedicated fans. What would happen to your anxiety?
Are we doing live shows with
Well,
like?
we kind of have to, Joe. You have to cash in on this. So we are going to have a like a stadium packed of people. We're going to do live shows. People are going to be losing their mind. 100,000 listeners, you can get a roaring live show.
I
And
mean,
you kind of have to do
wouldn't that be funny if like we did the live show with 5 people, but when there's 100,000, I just shut the live room off. Like, no thanks. I don't. I mean, I
a
would.
live show. I mean, like we're doing a show. People are calling in. Everyone wants to participate in the show. People are sending us like we're getting like 50 emails a day from listeners. Everyone's into the show. Callers all the time. Lots of voicemails. Live in-person shows where like people are huge into it, and obviously like you're making some money off it. Things are going great. What would it do to your level? Like with this success, this dreamed of a success, would it fuck with your anxiety?
the like the Zoom live shows, I would be a little bit elevated if I knew there was like thousands of people in there and I see the chat just scrolling nonstop.
That'd be awesome.
It would. A little bit intimidating, but it would. Live in-person shows, I would be completely
Live in
bugging
person,
out.
1,000 people. We fill the room with 1,000 people.
I mean,
We're all excited.
fill it with 100 people, and I'd probably be bugging out pretty bad. So,
If I could see 6 people in the audience, I'd be like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
this is awesome."
yeah, that wouldn't be great for my anxiety. No.
Okay. So Jay, I have something I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
Okay. Have you ever heard of the carnivore diet?
No. Tell me about it.
Okay. What do you think the carnivore diet? I mean, like the name kind of tells you a lot. What do you think the
it's
diet
just-
is?
It's probably all meat, no carbs, no veggies.
Okay, yeah. So TikTok, the wonderful world of TikTok, the Chinese have been pushing on me, or I'm just what I've been interested in. I've been interested in stand-up comedy on there, scenes from The Sopranos, lots of different things. But one theme I keep seeing over and over again, and I've been kind of curious about, has been the carnivore diet. There's one particular person in particular, this guy, Carnivore Ray or something like that, who I keep seeing his videos. His basic story, based on his videos, are about a year ago, the dude was like, I guess he was like 100 pounds heavier. He was really down on his luck, and he started the carnivore diet. During that time, he was like, at that point, he said he was like, he was in the mortgage industry, wasn't doing very well. He was sleeping on his friend, like he was renting. He was paying his friend to sleep on his friend's couch. Like shit was bad. He starts the carnivore diet. In that year, suddenly he starts making videos about it also. He goes from like a guy who's like 250, I don't know how much, maybe he was 300, I'm not sure how much he weighed, but he said he lost 100 pounds in that year. Went from like being fat to being ripped, like really good shape. He becomes an influencer. Now he makes enough, I guess, I don't know how much, he doesn't say how much he makes on the videos, but he's like, it sounds like he's much more successful now that he does these videos, and like he gets all this free like meat from Butcher Box and other services that send him stuff because like they want him to promote their products. But he's become like a big time carnivore influencer, and he talks about all the benefits of the carnivore diet. Apparently, the carnivore diet makes you lose weight, makes you able to like. There's all these things they talk about. Like it makes you just healthier. I mean, a lot of like hocus pocus. Who the fuck knows? But there's even like this thing where like your brain is fed by carbohydrates. When you stop eating carbohydrates, your brain gets fed by these things called ketones, and we can like open your brain up and make your brain even think better, basically. So they have all these benefits. Would you, Jay? Would you do the carnivore diet?
No.
Why not?
It doesn't sound like it's a healthy diet.
Why not, Jay?
It sounds like you're only getting part of what you need. And I feel like somebody's going to do it and just die.
So what they've said generally, there was a guy you said that there was a I guess like this there was a report about this maybe like a 25-year-old who was eating like 9 pounds of meat and butter a day, and he had all these yellow spots all over his skin. It turned out it was basically the cholesterol coming out of his body, basically.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, not eating 9 pounds of meat every day is like a whole other level. Like most people aren't that stupid.
Right.
So the carnivore diet, they say like you're getting all the nutrients. You're eating animals. Animals have the nutrients. Like you're getting all the nutrients you need. There's a couple things they say you can supplement. You like could take like potassium. You could take magnesium. A couple supplements with that, and you're good. And you're unbelievably healthy. So take the supplements, Jay. You're gonna do it now.
No.
Do you like meat, Jay?
I do, but I like carbs a lot too, obviously, if you look at me.
Who don't like carbs? Okay, so I got motivated, and I was like, just got back from vacation. And I was like, when I get back from vacation,
Which one?
I'm gonna start. What's up, Jay?
I said, which one?
Okay, I got back from Seattle. Okay, before the show, we were talking about vacations. Jay always makes fun. Jay goes on a long trip to Thailand every year. I don't make fun of him going to Thailand, but Jay seems to make fun of me because. How many
you
vacations do I take a year, Jay?
Monthly vacations.
Okay, so I went away on a short ski trip this year. I went away a short hiking trip. I'm going away. I guess I'm going away to Florida for a couple days. Going away to the Hamptons for a couple days. Then I went to Seattle. I'm going. I might go to Iceland this summer and go away to Bahamas at the end of the year. So Jay thinks there's a lot of trips. It does. When you add them up, they sound like a lot of trips.
Probably because it is.
It's like I almost want to go on extra trips just to like troll you now.
I mean, you usually do anyway.
I just want to. I'm like, it's kind of. Jay finds it almost funny how many trips I take. So I need to take like, hey Liz, let's go away. Let's go away. Okay, so I decided when I got back from Seattle, I was going to start this trip. Start this diet. So how do you think? What do you think it's been like, Jay? Should I tell you about it?
You saw a diet on TikTok and decided to do it.
Yes. You think that's a stupid idea?
Yes, I think you're like 12.
I saw there were a lot of people in all the comments that said it's been working amazing for them. It just seemed like an interesting. I'm like how bad? I was like, I'm gonna try it for 30 days. Does 30 days seem like an insane amount of time to try a diet?
No, but aren't you like addicted to black beans? So there's no black beans for 30 days?
No black beans, no vegetables, just meat, eggs, and then there's like you don't have to do like some people use cheese and like some milk, some people don't. And then also like you're bordering on if you're having meat and cheese, are you on the animal diet or the carnivore diet? But both similar enough, I guess. But yeah, so the things I love, which include my oatmeal in the morning and my beans, are a no-go on this diet.
And you're doing it still?
I'll tell you about it. So I got a pound of ground beef. I start in the morning. I make the ground beef, throw a bunch of salt. They say to throw like a lot of salt in there and a lot of fat. So I throw a bunch of butter in there. I throw like a half a dozen eggs, make it. And I'm like, and they're like, listen, if you're eating this meat, well, here, Jake, do you think if you're eating a lot of meat, will you be hungry throughout the day?
No.
Why not?
I feel like it's filling. Like when I have a burger, I'm full.
Okay, so here's my experience on this diet. I am so fucking hungry the whole goddamn day.
Really?
The feeling does not go away. I am just like, no matter what I eat with meat, I'm just fucking hungry.
Interesting.
So I thought, I'm like, well, I will lose weight. I'll feel better. I don't fucking feel better. I've been feeling so like just shitty every day from this diet.
Like low energy and
lower energy, just not feeling great. They say you're because of the diet, you're like dehydrated. So you have to drink like extra electrolytes. I've been downing like every time I'll be like, I feel good. Then like half hour later, I'm like, I don't feel so good. And I'm going like I down some electrolytes, and I'm like, I feel good. No, I don't feel so good. I'm like dehydrated throughout the day. I can't seem to drink enough electrolytes or enough water. I definitely have less energy. Everything the fucking TikTok videos told me is not happening.
Huh.
I don't know. The meat, by the way, I don't think I fucking could stand meat at this point. I mean,
how long has it been?
It's been about 2 weeks.
Wow.
2 weeks. I this morning, I like my morning workout. I went for a run. And I was like, fuck it. I can't take this diet anymore. I went back to eating. I had beans today. I had oatmeal today. I'm so happy. I'm so much happier.
Life was good again.
What'd you say?
Life was good again.
Yeah, like I have to say, like the things I was thinking about during this diet were like how like this diet ruins eating. I'm fucking 46 years old. What do I have? I don't have that many things in life. One of the things I have in life is eating. Now I'm gonna make eating a bad experience.
So my problem is I've been going to the gym 3 times a week for the last. This is like my 6th week in a row,
Oh, good.
which is good. It's to the point where our interview for Brink got canceled on Tuesday, and which is happening on the 25th now. But the first.
By the way, every time we have this interview, something terrible happens to this woman. She had COVID, which she had COVID this past week, which is not terrible, but like I think she had COVID. She got like hit on the head one week. Like all these things. Like she is the Dallas Mavericks of guests.
Yeah, yeah. To the point where like I feel bad at this point. I'm like, are we killing her, this poor woman, or
Slowly murdering this woman.
so? Anyway, so when the interview got canceled, the first thought in my head was like, oh, I could go to the gym now, which is like good. Like it's like a habit now. The problem is since I started going to the gym, I'm always hungry as well. Like, I guess it sped up my metabolism, whatever, but like I'm just hungry all day. So not helping the weight at all.
Well, I wouldn't say like eat pounds of meat. So the thing is also I'm like what are you gonna eat every day? Like I mean like I made a pound of meat. Am I gonna eat 2 pounds of meat a day? Like it just gets like I don't know. It gets. I started adding cheese to it and a lot of cheese to it because I was like I can't take.
Well, I mean, you
I
can
don't know,
mix
like-
it up, I guess, with like pork or ham and chicken.
I got
and-
chicken. I was like, oh, I normally like chicken, but I don't think I like chicken anymore. And then like, I mean, I do like these things, but like when you're forced to eat them, and then like the meat, I'm like, I can't afford to buy like just big steaks every day. So I'm like, I'll get ground meat, but I'm like, and I'm mixing with eggs and putting salt in there, and then I'm throwing cheese in there. I'm like, like this is not even like, and then I'm like, I'm just hungry. I'm like. Do I now have to make a 2nd pound of meat? And then I started adding yogurt. I was eating like a pound of just like a tub of like plain Greek yogurt also because I kept like making additions to the diet that don't even make sense. I threw chia seeds back in there, even though they're clearly not carnivore. Just 'cause I'm just fucking hungry and I can't figure out how to like. I'm not going to the diet in the smart way where I'm like prepare with everything I need to eat. I'm like I made my meat now. I'm like, fucking rest of the meat's in the freezer. What the fuck do I do now?
You know what the most shocking part of this story is?
What?
Is that a TikTok diet didn't work out. I just
There are so
completely
many
shocked.
people on TikTok promoting this fucking diet. There's so many comments. I'm like, I'm on day 37 and I can fly. I shoot fire on my ass and I can like I like there's so many people that talk about how amazing this diet is. The guy fucking promotes the videos like, I no longer fart. It's amazing. I don't even fart anymore. I'm like, wow, he doesn't fart anymore. It's so unbelievable. And also like my bowels don't move normally because you're not getting fucking fiber. Like it's ridiculous.
Andrew posted that in the chat. He said Mark actually hasn't been to the toilet for 9 days.
They're like, and I'm looking online. They're like, well, you could have like some of the symptoms, some of the things, like some of the side effects. They're like, you could have what they call the carnivore flu for the first 2 to 4 weeks, where you have flu-like symptoms for 2 to 4 weeks. Once you get past that, everything's fine. I'm like, if you have flu-like symptoms, why would you stick with this thing for fucking 4 weeks to see if they go away?
Isn't that like dying? Like anything that lasts more than a week is not good.
I like, and my wife's like, why the fuck are you doing this?
Right.
I'm like,
Because TikTok
I don't
told
know.
me to.
She's like, what's your reason? I'm like, lose a few pounds. She's like, what? Why are you fucking doing this to lose a few? I'm like, I don't know. So I think I'm just gonna try to eat less carbs, just like more limited carbs, and go back to eating normal diet. I don't know, or just less bread.
So your
Or less
first
dessert.
idea was to do pull-ups with a weighted backpack, and since that worked out so good, you decided to just eat meat and not have any nutrients at all.
Yes. Well, I thought, do meat? I don't even know. Does meat have like according to these videos, meats have all the nutrients you want?
I don't think they do.
I don't know what meat has. I don't know what has nutrients. I realize I haven't been alive for this long. I don't even know what's healthy.
Mark,
If I watch enough TikTok videos, I might be able to convince that like if I eat Twinkies every day, I'll be able to bench 400 pounds.
Mark comes to the realization that he doesn't know how to eat at age 46.
Do you know how to eat, Jay? What's good for you? What do you have for morning and breakfast, Jay? What's a good breakfast, Jay?
So I've been having either oatmeal with
Is it plain oatmeal or is it flavored oatmeal?
plain oatmeal, but I
Because I know the flavored oatmeal apparently is like just terrible.
right. Yeah, no, that's just like sugar. No, I put raisins, dried blueberries, and finely chopped almonds in it, and I use oat milk, and it's like overnight oats. I put it in the fridge overnight, and in the morning it like soaks all the milk up.
A lot of prep work, huh?
Takes about 90 seconds.
Okay, that's not bad actually. It sounded because you have to do it overnight. That sounds like prep work.
Like I have the three things in jars. I just open the jar, take a spoonful, put it in the container. Like,
Is it good?
Scoop, scoop, scoop. It's really good. Yeah, I have it
Okay.
a few times a week. Either that or Trader Joe's has veggie samosa burritos. Yeah, I don't know if you know what a samosa is.
Yeah. Well,
It's like
yeah.
cauliflower,
No, I don't.
peas, and potatoes with like a curry sauce. So it's like that in a burrito.
Cool.
So
I mean, I used to also think like cereal was healthy. Then they're like, cereal's not healthy. It's processed and blah blah. I'm like, okay. Why are they changed through our lives what's healthy? They're like, this is healthy. No, it's not.
I mean, eggs have changed back and forth about 20 times at this point.
Right. Eggs are good for you. Eggs are bad for you. Eggs are good for you. Eggs are bad for you. Eggs are too expensive. No one can afford eggs. By the way, I was like to my wife, I'm like, now I'm doing this stupid diet when the price of meat and eggs is like absurd.
Right.
I went to the supermarket. I was one of our supermarkets, Stop and Shop. I can't afford the fucking eggs. It is now $10 a dozen for the eggs. Thank you, Trump. Thank you for bringing down egg prices. You're really saving ever since, not to get political or all that, but the economy seems to be going right into the shithole. Thank you, Trump. But anyway, eggs are fucking $10 a dozen. For $10 a dozen, I just don't fucking buy eggs.
Guy who takes 11 vacations a month can't afford eggs.
Yes. So yeah. In this economy, if you could take 10 vacations, you still can't afford eggs. I go to Target and the eggs are like $6 a dozen. I'm like, I could do $6, I guess. What's the most you'd pay for a dozen eggs, Jack?
I don't know. I guess $12.
You'd pay $12 for a dozen eggs?
What are you gonna do? Not eat eggs?
Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. You're not gonna eat eggs. What, are eggs that important to you that you're gonna eat them for $12?
I mean, it's not like I eat like a ton of them. That lasts me like 3 weeks.
What are you licking them, Jay?
I don't have them every day.
How does a dozen eggs last you 3 weeks? What are you doing with them?
I have some.
Are you hatching them?
I have one like every few days.
Okay, you're eating one at a time every few days?
Like two, like once or twice a week. It lasts a while.
Is your big issue with eggs that they spoil because you're keeping them in the fridge for the entire year?
I keep my fridge very cold, like just above freezing, so stuff lasts really long.
That's called a freezer, Jay.
No, just above freezing, not below freezing.
Okay. What temperature do you keep your fridge at? 12 degrees.
I don't
There's
know.
an Eskimo living in there.
Like 37.
I think it's about it. I think it's 38 degrees.
Okay.
We had an issue with our refrigerator a number of years ago, and like the wouldn't stay cold, and the temperature kept dropping, or I guess going up, whatever. Every time I looked at it, and so now I have like PTSD. So I'm always like checking the temperature, like a psycho. And my kids will like joke with me. They're like, Dad, it says 40 degrees in the refrigerator. I'm like, what? Like, gotcha, Dad.
That's pretty funny.
Anyway, so that's what I've been up to, Jay, in the last 2 weeks. I've been doing this diet, which has made me hate meat. I don't know. I think would you have an easier time being a vegetarian or a carnivore? What would be easier for you?
Probably a vegetarian.
Yeah, I don't think it's even close for me. I think I could accidentally be a vegetarian for a month at a time, no problem. Apparently, I can not survive a full 2 weeks on the carnivore diet.
Yeah, I think I would find it easier.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, the meat is like... I'm going to make my own anti-carnivore videos where I'm just going to be like, this meat, who the fuck eats this shit?
Do a video of you like wrapped in a blanket, like you have the flu. Just make like your start off motivating and then slowly like spiral into like a death spiral.
Right, like I started being like, I'm gonna do this carnivore diet, everything's gonna be great, it's gonna solve all my problems, it's gonna be amazing. And by like a week into it, I'm like, I'm living in a fucking box. I can barely afford the meat. I had to blow a guy to get a ham sandwich. Anyway, it's not going well.
I think you should do that.
The anti-videos, and I post them in the comment section every day. Jay, Have you heard about the Trump Gold Card?
Yes.
So what is it, Jay?
So
I'm not-
it's like a green card for rich people. So if they want to pay $5 million, they could skip the whole like immigration process and just like fast track. It's like the fast track at Six Flags.
Okay, so the $5 million, yeah, Jay's basically like you can pay $5 million to the government, get a green card, you get to be a citizen or whatever, or you just get a permanent residence in the U.S. So that money goes to the government, and that's, I guess, fair. Should U.S. citizens be allowed to sell their citizenship? And if you could, how much would you sell your citizenship for, Jay?
Ooh, free market.
Yeah, free. Let's go free market on this, Jay. You can sell your citizenship to any non-citizen. They have to be. Let's just say they have to be vetted. So we're not like you're not selling it to Al Qaeda. But you're selling it. As a result of it, you have to get the fuck out of the U.S. Like you're no longer welcome here. So within 30 days after you sold it, you have to get that. You can come back and visit, but you are no longer allowed to have your residence in the U.S. You have to move out within 30 days, and go live elsewhere in the world. How much would it take for you to sell your? What's your price, Jay, for your citizenship?
$1 million. I'm undercutting the gold card by 500%.
Don't buy the gold card. You could have the J life.
Yep.
Want to live my life? You could have it for only $1 million.
There you go.
For $1 million, you'd get the hell out of the U.S.
Yeah, why not?
Where would you move? I guess Thailand, because your wife.
Yeah.
But you think you'd probably live a pretty good life if you took out $1 million and went to Thailand.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
That wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
I don't have a natural place to go. Like you have a natural place to go because she has family there.
Yeah.
Jay, if I sold my citizenship, would you let me come move in with you guys in Thailand?
Sure. Would
Okay,
we still be
cool.
able to do podcasts, or are you going to take even more vacations now that you?
Well, I mean,
Got
I
rich over here.
made a bunch of money now. I might travel a little bit.
We do. Did you have anything else for the gold card?
No, you can go on to the next, whatever you want to talk about.
Lorenzo writes, our email is thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com.
Oh, I got one thing I want to talk about, then we go to Lorenzo. Can I have one more thing I want to talk about?
You always cut Lorenzo off every episode.
He appreciates that. This is short, but I noticed this when I was on vacation. If you go on vacation, you notice things. On vacation, we went skiing. We stayed in like it was like a condo basically, like a vacation condo.
Okay.
Really nice. And they had something in this condo that I fucking hate when I see in hotels or anywhere you stay on vacation. The shower was pure glass. And you look out of the shower, there's a big mirror. The bathroom's closed. But what it means is basically, while I'm showering, anytime I glance to the left, I see my fucking naked body in the shower.
Yeah, that's not great.
Who wants to fucking who sets this up? They're like, we feel like people really like to stare at their naked bodies in the shower. We feel most of our guests are really confident about their figures and just want to stare at themselves naked throughout the entire showering process.
This was designed by Patrick Bateman, American Psycho.
Yes. Why in God's name would you want a glass shower without any there's no frosting, nothing that it's perfectly see-through, which it's fine. The bathroom's locked. I get that part of it. But who the fuck wants this? Who wants to be just stare themselves naked while they're showering?
I put a little soap in my arm and then I flex in the mirror.
What designers are like? We understand that most Americans just love to beat off while they stare at themselves in the shower. We understand that's the number one activity Americans like to do, so we set that. That's the design.
Oh, when I bought this apartment, the bedroom had one of those giant mirrors as like a headboard almost.
Oh my God.
I ripped that thing down before I even moved in. Yeah, I was like, there's no way.
I'm not sure I want a mirror in my house. That's how much I like to look at myself. And to stare at myself naked while I'm soaping myself up, it makes me want to throw up. I'm like, how does my wife even put up with this?
I have a small one in the bathroom so I can shave.
Yeah. I mean, we have a mirror in the bathroom as you shave and brush your teeth. I get there being a mirror. It's just like it being directly across from just a see-through shower is the weird part.
No. And the only other mirror I have is like in the guest bedroom. So if I need to look in the mirror, I have to make a concerted effort. I don't accidentally look in the mirror, but sometimes you want to see if an outfit fits or whatever. But
You know, like superpowers. I sometimes wish I had that superpower that vampires have, where they have no reflection. That's one of the superpowers I want.
yeah. I mean, you're in shape. Do you have like body dysmorphia?
Do you like staring at yourself naked?
No, but I have a terrible shape.
There's no world where I want to stare at myself naked. I feel like also if I was like, well, Jay, of course I mean, I'm in good shape. I love to stare at myself naked. It's amazing. That's much more dysmorphia than not liking yourself naked.
Well, I mean, I feel like you skip past the middle part where you're like, I'm okay with it. It's either like
I'm not okay.
beating off in front of the mirror or like hiding from them and putting all the house mirrors in your garage covered in like clothes.
Jay, I clearly have untreated mental illness. I do not want to stare at myself at all, really, and much less naked while I'm in the shower.
I think the longer the show goes on, the more people realize how insane we both are.
It's better for the show.
I'm surprised there's still stuff coming out.
Yeah,
You'd think
this therapy session we call the show will never end.
You think everyone would know everything about us at this point?
Jay, would you want a glass? Like, would you want a glass? This setup in your bathroom, a glass shower, across from the mirror where you could see yourself naked every day when you shower.
Sounds like a nightmare. That sounds like, in theory, it would be good if you were like on a honeymoon and you wanted to hook up, and like you'd be like, oh, it'd be cool if I'm watching myself have sex, and then you look for 2 seconds, you're like, nope, this is the worst idea ever.
Nope. Terrible idea. Not a good idea.
Sounded good on paper, terrible in execution.
Terrible idea. Okay, go on.
Lorenzo writes, hey guys, back in June 2013, when Kanye had a baby and called it North, Mark bet that 100 morons would now go and name their kid the same, but Jay wasn't so confident. Now that it's 12 years later, do you have any evidence yet?
Why don't we Google this? How popular is the baby named North? He also, in fairness, maybe the name would be more popular if Kanye wasn't pro-Nazi.
Possibly. I mean, you can't even say it as a joke now. He was literally like walking around in a swastika shirt the other day. He was selling it at a reasonable price, though.
Let's see how popular. I'm on Baby Center. It is, according to babycenter.com, which is a very popular baby site. I mean, if you have kids, you probably do know that. At least in America, it's a popular one. Mm-hmm. It is in 2023. It's right now. It's 707,312 in popularity in baby names.
So that means there's thousands of people that have that name.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. There are a lot of people that just copy these names.
And we got one more email from Lorenzo. Any update from episode? I love how he's just such a historian of the show.
He's also like, I guess they get the kids like 12 or 13 years old and probably at school, and people will be like, hey, your dad's a Nazi. And he's like, can you guys just go back to making fun of my name?
Right. Any update from episode 164? Mark promised to record a Brink episode live from the Oregon vineyards. Well, that was a bold promise.
That was I'm trying to think. I mean, that must have been 2009, maybe. I think I did go to Oregon on a short trip to Portland. I think it was in 2009.
And why did you promise to do that?
I don't know, Jay. I don't know. Why did I do the? Well, it's not. It's not because TikTok told me, because TikTok wasn't around then. So I don't know. I must have been talking about my trips, and you must have been making fun of it. So I must have said I'll do a show from there. So Lorenzo, I have not made good on that. I have not done a podcast from the vineyards in Oregon, and I'm pretty sure I didn't go to a vineyard when I was in Oregon either. I did go to around the same time I went to Napa Valley, but I didn't do a show with Jay from Napa Valley. Jay, why didn't you do a show with me from when you were in Thailand? We could have done that from the airport.
I mean, I did have a 12-hour layover. probably could have.
Could have. By the way, I have my kids are going away. Speaking of trips, my in-laws are taking my kids to London and Paris in April, which is kind of insane. Just the kids, not us. We weren't invited, and so I will have a week where I don't have a lot going on. So maybe we can do Brink in April also.
Cool.
Just letting you know. Maybe our next episode will be in April, or maybe before the games. Maybe we'll do another show episode to promote the game.
Well, our next episode has to be on the 25th when we have our guest.
Well, she's not coming on the show, really. Is there any way? Would you be upset if I back out of that show
Why?
last minute?
Last minute, yes.
Do you really want to talk to this person?
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
Do you think she's listening and that's why you're saying it, or?
No, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be interesting.
Okay. The 25th. Did you say it's on the 25th? Oh, on the 25th, I'm going to be busy not interviewing.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do it. Sorry.
I mean, all of our interviews have ended up being like unexpectedly fun. Like all.
Yeah, no, that's true. And this one sounds completely random, but it could be really good.
The only one that, well, even that one was fun. The one that didn't show up and you just pretended to be him. Even that one was fun.
That was fun. By the way, I got a phone call the other day, and this is my phone. This is the phone call. I pick up. I'm like, "Hello, is Tom there?" No, not Tom. I think I got the wrong number. Oh, well, while I have you, do you have life insurance? I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm just like I thought you were calling for Tom. Yeah, but I have you. So you need term life insurance? The person's opening line for selling insurance was, "Is this Tom?"
Oh, you think that was his thing?
He just pretends to be I'm pretty sure he just pretends to be like a misdial, then just tries to start a conversation with you.
It's not bad, actually.
You liked it?
Yeah.
I was like, holy! I was like, you legitimately are just like pretending to like you dialed the wrong number, and this is your intro. The guy kind of was like, he didn't confirm, but I was like, that's pretty much what you're doing. I appreciate it. I don't need it, but I appreciate you. I appreciate the call.
It's creative. I kind of like that.
It was creative. I was just like, it's a hard call to make, so I appreciated it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's anything else here, Jay? Before we cut out, we have a shortened episode today.
We have a shortened episode. I worked back-to-back 12-hour days, and we just also did a Knicks podcast, so I'm kind of mentally junk right now.
We kind of just did it, so I want to talk about the carnivore diet and really also to promote Jay's game more than anything.
Yes. So there's 12 days left in the Kickstarter, so if you're going to contribute, time's running out.
12 days. So Jay needs $3,000 more dollars. So if everyone contributes a lot of math, it'll work out.
Yes. There you go. So Brink of Sanity 3 on Twitter, the Brink of Sanity on at gmail.com, and we are Brink of Sanity on Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon.
And there's a card game. Please contribute.
Yes, there is a card game. Brink of Sanity. Type that into Kickstarter. It'll come right up. The link will also be in the show notes.
Here's why everyone should contribute. And I've contributed to this game also, but here's why everyone should contribute. Contribute. We've given 18 long years of the show. That's nice. But even more interesting and even a better reason is that if Jay gets to these $6,500, he will then have to do the next step, which is getting the game made and selling the game. It's a lot more content for the show.
It is. It is. Watch as Jay is now obligated to mass produce a game, and how will he handle that? That is just going to be never-ending content.
There will be so much content, even though this is something that's so important to Jay, and he'll be so happy about it. I will make fun of him at every step just for the sake of the show.
Well, I'll tell you the first funny thing that's going to happen.
What?
The game gets funded. I'm about to order my games. The Trump tariffs hit, and my cost goes up 25%, and now I can't afford to make the games. So there you go.
Where are you getting the games made?
China.
What, there's not an American game?
No, it's being made in China.
Holy fuck.
So the picture's already set. The stage is already set. That's probably what's going to happen.
Oh my God. Okay, we have to get the $6,500 because we want to see how how it does not succeed from here. Sorry, Jeff.
I mean, you know, in true Brink fashion, there'll be some funny stories coming out of it.
This really, just the content alone will be so worth it.
All right. So, yeah, we'll be back soon. We will try and, if Mark is willing, we'll do an episode next week. If not, we can do one the week after for our interview.
Jay, what do you think about the idea of us recording an episode while I'm playing pickleball?
I mean, it'd be kind of funny.
I'm not serious, but I did go back to playing pickleball.
Oh,
At the
good.
start, I went back
Cool.
to it. So just another thing to annoy the shit out of me.
One
But,
one less day a week we can record. That's good.
my daughters, I'm also not as free because I'm coaching my daughter's basketball team, and the playoffs are this weekend. So we might be her basketball season is over pretty soon.
Okay. All right. So I can't wait to
So-
see how you fill it up with something else so that it's difficult to record.
Right. Well, I mean, like I had to, like basketball was ending, so now I went back to playing pickleball. But my back is surviving pickleball so far, so it's good.
Okay.
And this is a big deal for me. This is the first episode we've done since the summer where I've been sitting down the whole episode.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Big deal for me.
All right. So we will be back soon. Hopefully soon. We'll be back. We'll be back soon.
Okay, cool.
Mark's like, I am not going to confirm or deny that statement.
That's how I like to treat this show.
Great. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go.
This is the end.
Say goodbye. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right. We did it.
Yes. We've promoted your game.
Just waiting for the billions to come in now.
Billions. I think I made the best argument. No better argument than there'll be good content for the show.
And it's true, too.
It really is true.
And the tariff thing probably will happen, too. That
All things are kind of true.
all of a sudden I am $1,500 short. Andrew wants to see your pickleball gear.
I mean, I have a racket. I just have a racket, basically. It's nothing. There's no extra gear. I do have 2 pickleball rackets.
No,
but,
no knee pads or anything.
No, we don't need knee pads. Like, you're not like going rollerblading.
There's no diving. What kind of pickleball player are
You know what? You say that. So last week, my first game back, it's like you go to like, open play, and there's a guy a little bit older, like probably late 50s. There's between the different. There's like 3 courts. Between the court, like there's like a separator. A separator is like a metal like fence, but like there's like a decent difference between the decent distance between like you're not gonna hit this fence. Some guy like dove for a shot. I don't know why he dove for a shot. He landed directly into the fence, had a huge gash on his forehead, needed 6 stitches. It was the worst injury I've ever seen playing pickleball.
Wow.
You don't see injuries playing pickleball, except when someone pulls like something on their leg or something. Like that's an understandable injury. This was ridiculous. Like he was like he lands. I'm like holy. I saw the whole thing happen because I was like I was waiting to play. I was like holy fuck. I'm like that's not good. He comes out like his hand is covering his forehead, and you're like, well maybe it's not that bad, but you just see blood then like dripping down his hand, and he's like, is it bad? I'm like, is it bad? Like, fucking, it looks like you were shot. Like, there's so much goddamn blood.
Damn.
There was a lot of towels for blood. It was not good. But he got 6 stitches and the guy's fine. But I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this is my first night back at pickleball.
That's crazy.
But yeah, generally there's not a lot of. To answer the question, it's just a pickleball racket. I do wear like a thing on my wrist just to keep the sweat because I sweat so much.
Mm-hmm.
But the sweatband. but otherwise, no.
You don't do the headband?
You know, I actually brought a headband. I didn't wear it though.
I did.
Like I could definitely wear a headband. I sweat a lot.
I did a headband when I was in the basketball.
You know, when it's a little like it's still cold out. I mean, even though you're playing indoors, like it's not like there's not a lot of humidity. But I feel like when it warms up a bit, I'm gonna start wearing a headband.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll sweat. Because then I'll just sweat more. Even indoors, I'll sweat more.
Andrew wants to know why you need 2 rackets.
Yeah. So at first, I first started playing. I had like a $10 racket. Then you realize you need something better than a $10 racket because everyone like. So I bought like a $100 racket. And then, like, I don't know, my buddy I was going with, like, he got like another racket, and like he got like a $200 racket. I'm like, maybe I'll get a $200 racket. So I got this $200 racket. But then I got it, and then I got injured right away afterwards. My son basically the only one been really using the rackets, but now I'm back. I started playing with a $200 racket. I'm like, kind of like the $100 racket back, so I went back to the $100 racket.
All right.
That's why I have 2 rackets. It's like I don't know, you get like you're playing it a lot, so you're like. When other people are like, ooh, I have something fancy. You're like, let me get something fancy also.
Gotcha.
And then my friend who was like, he's onto his 3rd racket. I'm like, he's got a 3rd racket. Should I get a 3rd racket? Because like if he's doing it, like why shouldn't I? But I haven't got the but I've been basically was copying the rackets he got. But now I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna get a 3rd racket. This seems a little ridiculous.
It does. It does.
Would you pay $100 for or $200 for a racket?
Definitely wouldn't pay 200 for a racket.
I did pay $40 a piece for ping pong rackets. Would you pay $80 for 2 ping pong rackets?
No, I would not.
My son, we have a ping pong table here. You've seen it before, and we play a lot. And he was just talking about how shitty our rackets are. So like, I think to shut him up, and he's just been asking for them. So we got like nicer ping pong rackets.
And he used it like twice.
No, actually, we use it actually all the time.
Oh, okay.
We play
Well, that's
all the
good
time.
then.
Yeah,
That's good.
no. I mean, we have the table. Can you see the table here?
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like a nice table. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it this summer, and like we really actually do play a lot.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So like it's not like it's like the only thing my son likes to do with me is play ping pong.
It's
So
not like the
actually
PlayStation. And he used
No, he doesn't play the PlayStation at all. He does play ping pong a lot with me though.
Okay. Cool.
So it's actually been a good investment. Okay, I will let you get to sleep.
Yes. Definitely getting.